Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some Path of Exile discussion, and today we're mourning the loss of the Toucan meme. And you can see that my Toucan t-shirts, the ones that I'd been talking about, people actually follow the channel chat as well, be aware that I had a couple of these printed up, and unfortunately the very day after mine arrived in the mail, the Toucan meme comes to an end. So, the origins of the Toucan meme. The Toucan started with gold spammers, absolute plague on any online multiplayer game, various pay-to-cheat sites where people either hack players' accounts or farm gold via bots, or even via sweatshops of people manually farming in low-wage countries. And so these sites exist, they advertise and try to get both people naive enough to not realise that this is cheating, and also players who are desperate enough to appear better at the game than they are to not care about being cheats. So anyways, these sites, scummy sites, would advertise their illicit wares in the game, and one of the ways they do it is just by saying, hey, we're selling exalted orbs for XYZ price, go to this website to buy them. And this annoys the hell out of players. Partly annoys me because I like the integrity of online games to be preserved, so I don't want players cheating. And so, I want accomplishments to mean something, not to be how much people are willing to spend on either the game or some third-party service that does that sort of thing. It's why there's a whole lot of games that are free to play that I just don't play because they're just riddled with game designer paid cheat codes. Path of Exile is really good. It doesn't have a microtransaction store that's full of paid cheating options, but where there's demand, unfortunately, there are people that will pop in and will try to hack people's accounts in order to steal currency from them to resell. Will also run sweatshops in countries like Vietnam and Thailand, and where basically people will play the game not because they want to play the game, but simply because they're getting some tiny wage for each exalted orb that they find. In any case, this is a horrible industry. It's one that should be stamped out. And if you ever see advertisements for them on my channel, don't support them. In any case, I can't stop them from advertising here, but I do not endorse these products in any way. In any case, when they advertise, you would occasionally see people scrolling the chat as quickly as possible so that potential customers of these cheat sites wouldn't see what the actual site name was, because they tend to have fairly obscurified names. In any case, one initial thing people will do is just type dots, and so you just go dot enter on your keyboard. But then people realise that it's more efficient to put a big ASCII artwork in, and hence Le Toucan has arrived. An ASCII artwork that says nothing more than that there's a toucan here, but actually looks kind of cool. And so eventually the toucan became quite a mascot in Path of Exile, and you would also see some GM over-response to them sometimes, where GMs would impose months-long silences, mutes on players' accounts. In any case, that's all been ended. As of some point between when I went to bed last night and when I got up this morning, there was a post that went up on Reddit saying that the toucan is dead. And what's happened is that the last patch, I believe it was 3.4.2 B for Bravo, the GGG designers removed the ability to use ASCII characters that are not normal keyboard characters in your chat messages. Now, this might occasionally be a tiny inconvenience if, like me, you're someone that occasionally will type, if you want to type 7.5 exalts, you might go 7, then hold Alt and press 171 on the with number lock on, and then release Alt, and that will come up as a 1/2 symbol. You won't necessarily be able to use 1/2 symbols anymore, but that's a real niche case because you could just type 7.5. For sensible use, it's pretty much no impact. But the toucan relies upon characters that are basically, you see the solid blocks of black, you see the dots that make up the lighter tones of grey. Everything on this is non-standard characters except for the things that are spaces. So unfortunately, that is the end of the toucan, and it's come at just such an awkward time. I've just got these t-shirts printed, which I was going to be wearing at ExileCon, and was going to be issuing to people that won various prizes in my recent race. In any case, those prizes will still be going out, and what I'll do is I'll get in touch with the people and they can either have the t-shirt or the cost of printing it, which they're pretty. These t-shirts that are custom printed these days are ridiculously cheap. In any case, let's all raise a beer to our fallen toucan friends. I don't actually have a beer on me at the moment because it's early in the afternoon on a Saturday here, but that can wait for a bit later on. And if you've got any questions, if you want to discuss the history of the toucan meme, or if you just want to press F to pay your respects, then you can do that in the comments below. Anyways, I hope you have a good one, and I will be back later.